Hello, my name is Kaylin, and it's Halloween. Not today, but it's Halloween, as you can tell. I thought it would be fun to do a Halloween themed video. I wanted to be able to wear my costume, which is Kyle from South Park, as you can see. And so I thought I would maybe rank the South Park Halloween episodes. I don't know, I thought that'd be fun. My hat, if you can tell, keeps falling forwards, so if I'm adjusting that a lot, I'm sorry, it's it's really bad. It's covering my eyes pretty much. I'm gonna try to stick with this so it doesn't slide down. It looks kind of stupid, but it's okay. It'll slide down anyway, so whatever. So I watched all of the South Park Halloween episodes. I only did the 8 that are true Halloween episodes. I didn't do there's a couple, but I wanted to do the true Halloween episodes. I just did the episodes that Slush did when he ranked Halloween episodes, so I'll link his video in the description because he was very much an inspiration for this, so that's cool. I will preface, I've never done a video like this before, so I don't really know. I didn't know what to do. I don't know. I just watched all the episodes, took some took some notes of stuff I thought was interesting, and then I ranked them. So this video might not be the best quality content in the world, but it's got heart and soul. Also, the microphone is back. What do we think? I haven't used this in 7 months. The last time I used it was March, I think, because I normally do show and tell videos, so I'm not this time, so I can use the microphone again. So I guess let's get into the ranking. So the 8 episodes that I ranked are Pink Eye, Spooky Fish, Corn's Groovy Pirate Ghost Mystery, Hell on Earth 2006, A Nightmare on FaceTime, Sons of Witches, The Scoots, and Integrity Farms Halloween Special. Those are just kind of the most clear Halloween episodes, so I keep having to take my glove off to turn the pages. In last place, we have the Integrity Farms Halloween Special. In this episode, Randy and Towley make Halloween special weed, because this was obviously Integrity Farms era, and Shelly makes a potion kind of thing with a bunch of chemicals, ruins the weed, and then it causes psychosis pretty much for Randy and Tally, and they think they're being attacked by monsters. Also in this episode, I'm just holding my hat because I am so sick of it falling down. Also in this episode, Butters, he is archaeologist Butters, and he awakens a mummy kind of thing, and it becomes a toxic relationship, and everyone's blaming Butters for the destruction the mummy causes, and then the mummy leaves at the end. I ranked this one last because I'm just not Integrity Farms person. I don't really care about Randy. I am much more a fan of episodes with the boys and plots with the boys and stuff and all the kids. This episode wasn't bad. It was still good. I just didn't really care for the Integrity plots. I think the parts that didn't have Randy and Towley in them, so Shelly's plot and Butters' plot, I think those were all pretty decent. Those were all pretty good. I just don't give a shit about Randy and Towley. So that's why it's in last place. I just don't. It was just kind of alright. And the other ones are good. So like I said, I took some notes, so I guess I will share those now. First off, I've never seen this episode before I did this. I'm only around season 11 right now, so anything past that was the first time I ever watched that episode in full, at least. So yes, it's the first time I've ever watched this episode in full. I am a big fan of just the fun, random stuff, so I love when they have a Halloween themed intro, and this one did actually have a Halloween themed intro. However, it was Integrity Farms intro. So at what cost, really? In the first 3 Halloween episodes, which we will get to, Cartman's mom, Leanne Cartman, she sings "It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year" while she's decorating for Halloween. And then Cartman's plot in Corn's episode was that he's excited for Christmas. And then in this episode, Randy also sings "It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year" while decorating for Halloween as well. So this is also a Shelly focused episode, which you don't get much of ever, really. I mean, again, I haven't watched the Integrity Farms era, so I'm sure there's more of her there. But it's actually focused on Shelly. She's a big part of the episode, which I think is cool. Shelly's a great character. And I just felt really bad for her in this episode. It's dealing with her dad's shenanigans. He's a lot of it is you need to get over your marijuana problem. as in like she has a problem with marijuana, like she hates it. And so I wrote poor Shelly, and then near the end of the episode when she has to like, she's literally in jail for her marijuana problem, and then she has to like fix her dad's problem. So I literally felt about it. I wrote poor Shelly, and then later I said poor Shelly again. Butters was also a big part of this episode, and Butters is just such a cutie. He's so adorable. It starts off with him as archaeologist Butters going through a museum and collecting stamps, and he's just such a sweetie. He's so cute. And then he also has these little Halloween pajamas that he wears later on with like pumpkins and stuff on it. He's so cute. He's adorable. I love him so much. There was a lot of canted frames or like canted tilts in this episode, which is when you're watching something, right? Normally it's like head on, but then it like tilts. So you're looking at it like at an angle pretty much. And I don't know, I just thought that was interesting. A canted frame normally signifies either like power levels or like danger kind of, you know? It was mostly used with Butters, like when that one guy who's always there just like, you don't want to go down that road. He was warning him about putting the mummy's stamp in his little book, and Butters was in that kind of like tilted frame. And then it also happens a lot when the mummy goes through a door or something. And then Shelly, when she was making her little potion, not really a potion, but it was like a mixture that was meant to just like ruin the Halloween special weed. Like she has like a little spell just like for fun. I thought that was fun. Once she throws it on there and it like mutates the weed or whatever, or maybe that was just in their heads, I don't know. What they imagine with like the monsters and stuff is just so gross. It's disgusting. Like the people become like weed people, and then there's like, it's just so gross. It's disgusting. And then also there's a bit where PC Principal is talking about like what costumes are allowed, what costumes aren't allowed. And he says no dressing up as people from low income households, and Cartman goes, oh, no Halloween for you, Kenny. And then there were also some fun little like themed end credits. Like it was just like the font, but still. And then I wanted to do costume rankings for each episode, specifically of like the main 4 boys, but they didn't have any fucking costumes in this episode. Like literally not a single costume anyone wore. So I can't rank anything this time. But overall, I mean, I don't know, it was just kind of alright. Like I liked the subplot with Butters and the mummy. I thought that was funny. Shelly was good too, but I really just do not give a fuck about Randy or Integrity or Towley or any of that. Like I don't care. And it was just really gross. It was just a really gross episode. I was also ranking them on like Halloween vibes, like if it was a good Halloween themed, like it felt like a Halloween episode. And this one was just kind of alright. I don't know, like it had like Halloween decorations, but it didn't really feel like a Halloween episode, you know? But with all that being said, let's move on to number 7. I'm going to keep the hat like this for a little bit, see if that helps any. I know it looks stupid, but whatever. In the number 7 spot, we have the episode Sons of Witches. In this episode, all of like the dad specifically, so like Randy and Gerald and Steven and like Thomas, or, you know, all the kids' dads, they get together, they dress up in little witch costumes, and you know, they drink Jack Daniels and they do some crack. That's it. They just like party for a whole week doing that. And then one of the people in their little witch group, he casts a spell that makes him like an actual witch, and he goes around like throwing flaming pumpkins and killing people and kidnapping children. So it's just a really good time all around. So they're kind of trying to stop him, obviously. And then also the other witches are trying to convince the town that it's just him and that they are good witches or whatever. And then there's also a subplot with Heidi and Cartman where Heidi keeps like taking too long to get ready and running late and stuff. And so Cartman literally tries to kill her. He was late to the pumpkin patch, and then he was like, I have to kill this bitch now. I don't think so, but you know, you do you. I took the hat off. I couldn't take it anymore. So if my hair's a little messy, I was moving it around in a hat for like 20 minutes. So I have also never seen this episode before, because it passed season 11, so I've seen some of it, but I've never seen the full episode, so that was the first time watching that. It did have a Halloween intro. It wasn't as good as like the ones in the earlier seasons, but it did have one, so you gotta give it points for that. I thought the dads were all like really good together. Like, I don't know, they were funny together, and I liked them just hanging out. I don't know, it was fun. Heidi's outfit when she's like running late, getting ready, Okay, well, not running late. She was running late. Like, you know what? Girl, take all the time you need, because that was like a really cute outfit. Like, she looked adorable. And speaking of adorable, the scene of that little picture of Butters carrying his pumpkin and he's like smiling and it's like so huge, that's from this episode, and it is just like the cutest thing ever, and I love it so much. Also, the guy who like turned into an actual witch, he was a fucking ugly witch. Like, ew. This episode also gave us this great Cartman face where he's like, and he's so mad at Heidi because he missed the pumpkin patch, and it's a great face. They have this bit throughout the episode where they keep calling it, they never call it a witch hunt, and it's like they're getting there, but they don't ever do it. They're like, they call it like a witch pursuit thingy. Like, they sing a song at one point, and then the rhyme would obviously be witch hunt, and they go this whole witch pursuit thingy. Just, I don't know, it's just a fun like stupid bit that's like, I don't know, just fun. There's a scene where the boys without Cartman, so it's like Stan, Kyle, Kenny, and Butters, and they're trying to plan a way to get rid of the witch, obviously, because it's stealing children, and then they're like, oh, we can't trick-or-treat otherwise. And Cartman thinks that they're talking about getting rid of Heidi, and he's like, yes, we need to kill Heidi. So he comes in, he gives them the plan, and Kyle defends Heidi, and I think that was really cute. In general, I think Cartman was like such an asshole in this episode. I mean, obviously, he wanted to kill his girlfriend because she doesn't have great time management skills. So yeah, obviously he's an asshole, but I did think he was pretty funny in this episode. That's the thing about South Park though, like, he's such an asshole, but that's like normally the joke and it's funny. So, and then at the end of the episode, all the children that were kidnapped, they were like in a bag and they're getting let out of the bag, and Heidi goes like, they're like, come on out, little girl, and Heidi goes, just a minute, I just need a second. And I thought that was funny. That was a good way to end the episode. This time, we actually do have a couple costumes, so we can do a costume review. I had 3 that I like counted for my review. Number 3 was Heidi as Gretel, because her and Cartman went as Hansel and Gretel, so that Heidi got kidnapped. He really wanted to kill her. It was cute, like, she looked good in it, but I don't know, it was just kind of basic. It was cute, but whatever. Number 2 is Cartman in his Hansel costume, purely just because he looked so fucking stupid. He looked so dumb. Like, actually, what was that costume? And that's why it's up there, just because it's so stupid and he looked so dumb, and I loved it. It was really funny. And the number 1 were the witches. I mean, that seems like pretty obvious, right? Because like, they were all witches. Like, that was kind of the main point of the episode. But like, I don't know, it was just like fun. My personal favorite was Craig's dad, Thomas. He was really rocking that witch dress, like in that witch costume. Like, he looked so good. Overall, like, it was fine. I liked it, but it was just kind of okay. I don't know, like, I didn't really care for it all that much. That's why it's at number 7. Like, it was good, but it wasn't great. It had a lot of like solid bits in it. Like, Heidi running late, I think, was good. Cartman had a good bit. The witches were a good bit in general, but like, I don't know, it was just kind of okay altogether. Also, like, it didn't really feel that Halloween. Like, there was a pumpkin patch and they were dressed up as witches, and that was about it. Like, there was, I don't know, there just wasn't much, and I prefer my Halloween episodes a little more Halloween. The next episode, episode number 6, is Hell on Earth 2006. That wasn't on purpose, but I do think it's funny. In this episode, there's like 4 different plots. Like, there's a lot going on. Satan is throwing a Halloween party at the W Hotel. It's like parodying those like TLC shows where they plan parties and like the kids like kind of like a spoiled brat, you know, and they did get that bit down. Like, they really nailed it. There is the other main plot with Biggie Smalls, where the kids try to summon Biggie Smalls in the mirror like it's Bloody Mary, and then Butters actually does summon him, and so he has to get into the party, but he keeps getting like sent back because other people try to summon him and whatever. So that's like one plot where it's like back and forth with Butters and him. There is a Three Stooges routine, which I think was like a show a long time ago, with 3 murderers, Bundy, Gacy, and Dahmer, I think, because Satan tells them to go pick up his Ferrari cake. That's another thing in the episode. Satan wants a Ferrari cake for his party, so they have to go pick it up, but they can't stop murdering people. And then the last plot, which like really there was like nothing going on, like it was a very push to the side thing, was a bunch of priests trying to get into the party, and that's it. I personally don't mind all the different plots. Like I like when things have like a bunch of different plots that come together really well. Like there's this one movie, Valentine's Day, where there's like a million different people, a million different plots, but they all come together throughout the movie. Like I'm a fan of stuff like that, but like, you know, you have to kind of do it well. And it's not like it didn't do it well, but it's just like it felt like they tried to set up a bunch of stuff, but then as the episode went on, you could really tell where their priorities lay. I mean, the Three Stooges thing just ended. They did like murder each other, but it just kind of ended. They were going to pick up the cake, they kept murdering people, the cake got ruined, and then they were going to make another cake and they like all murdered each other, and that's just like where it ended, and we never heard anything about them again. And then later they were just like, oh, we have a backup, it's okay. So I don't know, that one just kind of like abruptly ended. And then the priest one was never really even prevalent to begin with. Like it was just kind of, we want to get into the party, and then like 2 more scenes of them trying to get into the party, and then they got into the party, and that was literally it. Like there was barely even a plot. Obviously the main two are the Biggie Smalls plot and Satan's plot, but I don't know, like I feel like if you're gonna introduce all these things, like you gotta like at least do them well, you know. I didn't mind the Three Stooges routine. I don't know, like I thought it was funny. It's like I've never seen any of like the Three Stooges, but you know, I thought it was funny. With the Biggie Smalls plot, I think that one might have been my favorite. I was gonna like rank all of them, but I was like, that's kind of stupid, I don't want to do that. But I think that one's my favorite. Maybe it's just because it has the boys in it, and we know I like the boys. But it was just like, it was fun. Like all the kids are hanging out together, which I always love. Butters has another really cute pair of pajamas. He's such a cutie. He's so adorable. When they are like trying to summon him in the mirror, Butters is like, come on, do it. And then Cartman threatens to hit him and he flinches. Don't be mean to him. Don't be mean to Butters. He's so sweet. Like, I feel so bad every time I watch that clip. I'm like, aww. And then with Satan's plot, like, I thought it was fine. You know, I love Satan as a character. I think he's very funny. Specifically in the movie, I think he was really good. Like, I liked him in this episode, right? Like, he really nailed that bratty kind of, like, vibe. He has this assistant who I think is really funny. I do like him because he's like got like a very dry humor, but I don't know, other than that, like I think the plot was kind of alright. Like there was a couple good little jokes here and there. I thought the Ferrari cake, which ends up having to be an accurate cake, and then Satan was really pissed off about it, I thought that was alright. I don't know, the ending, I felt like the ending of the whole episode was just kind of rushed. Also, this episode did not have a Halloween intro, so let that be known. For the costume review, there was no main 4 costumes. As an honorable mention, Butters' pajamas, I know I already said that, but they were so cute. They weren't a costume, but they're damn cute. Number 2, they were all Satan, by the way, because there was no costumes. There was no costumes of the main 4, but there was also so many costumes from everyone at the party. So it's like, I'm doing prevalent characters. So number 2 is Satan as the crow. I don't know what the crow is. I don't know what it's referencing, but like, I don't know, it was just kind of fine. Just whatever. I think it's good that he changed it, because then he changed into Britney Spears. But I think he looked really great, and that really fit him. Overall, I think it was like a good episode. I think it was very solid. I liked it. Like, if you're just watching it, it's really good. But the more you think about it, it kind of falls apart. Like, the priest plot resolving really easily. The Three Stooges just kind of ending. Everything kind of moves slow. Like, if you really think about it in terms of, like, technicality, it's not the best, but if you're just like watching it for fun, I think it's good. Also, the Biggie Small storyline also felt rushed at the end. He just gets into the party. Like, it's all this stuff for him going back and forth just for him to like, he gets in the party and that's it. It also like wasn't very Halloween. It was a Halloween party, and it didn't really feel like Halloween at all. Again, there was no costumes. There was like a couple Halloween decorations, but that was pretty much it. Like, I don't know, it just wasn't very Halloween. Also, side note, the episode after this literally aired on Halloween. So, like, why didn't this air on Halloween? Maybe it's because it's like, if you get it out before Halloween, it gets more like publicity. I don't know. I just think it would have been better if it aired on Halloween, but what do I know? This came out in 2006. There's not much I can do about it anymore. The next episode is the Scoots. In this episode, like, electronic e-scooters come to the town, and everyone decides they're going to use those to trick-or-treat, so that causes some problems. The kids all thought that there was an original idea, and then they get mad that everyone else is doing it, but that wasn't really a big thing. The parents are very stressed because they're going to run out of candy if everyone can get around super easy. And then the main part of this is Mr. Mackey and Kenny fighting against this. Mr. Mackey is just kind of like sick of the scooters. He doesn't like them, he wants to drive instead. And Kenny was going to trick-or-treat, obviously, with the other main 4 boys, his friends, you'd think, but they ditch him because he doesn't have a phone, so he can't use the e-scooters, and they're like, you're just gonna kind of slow us down, you gotta go. So he tries to trick-or-treat with a bunch of other people, but they're all using the e-scooters, so he can't join any of them. So him and Mr. Mackey, they take down the cell phone tower so that nobody can use the scooters. And then at the end, he gets to trick-or-treat with his friends, and they're all like really bummed out, but he's so excited, and it's really cute. I love a Kenny-centered episode. You don't get a ton of those, especially not in the later seasons. This was season 22, so it's really nice to see. He's such a cute character. He's so great. I've also never seen this episode before. You know, like I've seen, again, clips of it, obviously, but I haven't actually seen the whole episode before. I've also never seen the movie The Birds, which is what this is based on. Like, I think like the scooters are the birds. I've heard there's lots of birds in that movie. So I'm sure there was lots of references that I didn't get because I have not seen the movie. So I don't know like what it's referencing. There was also no Halloween intro for this one, and that just like, it just hurts this time because they had one from Sons of Witches, and they just chose not to use it. So like, that's just rude. I have a lot of stuff on Kenny because obviously he's like the main center of the episode, and he's also just really cute. There's a voiceover at the beginning and then throughout, and at the end it's like an older voice, and I was like, who is this voiceover? We learned it's Kenny at the end, like adult Kenny. Maybe this is referencing a movie, maybe it's referencing The Birds. I wouldn't know, I haven't watched The Birds, but I didn't mind that. I don't know, like I thought it was just kind of alright. Kenny is like he's so adorable in this episode. Like he gets this little like bucket and he's so excited about it, and he's just so cute in this episode. And then everyone is really mean to him, and they don't let him trick-or-treat with him, they don't let him do anything, and I wanted to cry. Like, he's so sweet and he's so cute, and they're just being so mean to him. He also has this one line when he goes up to the girls' table to ask if he can trick-or-treat with them. They're like, why do you want to trick-or-treat with us? He's like, oh, you know, just trying to be gender neutral. Mr. Mackey was also really good in this episode. Like, he was funny. It was good. I thought he like carried the plot along well. Like, I don't really have much to say, but he was good in this episode. Him and Kenny together, they were working really well together. It was really sweet. Like, he's like, there's one point where he's like, you know, I know we all kind of forget about you, but you're really sweet and you're really smart. I think you'd even make a great counselor someday. And I was like, it's so cute. I thought the parents freaking out was also pretty good. Like, it's just kind of dumb, you know, like they're just all so stupid. It was like just literally all the adults freaking out so much. Steven tries to trick-or-treat at other houses. When they come to Integrity Farms, Sharon and Randy, they're like holding hands, and they're like just like bracing for impact. I don't know, like I thought it was funny. They use another canted frame / Dutch angle. I still don't know what it is, but they used that. And this was the first time I noticed it. I was like, and then I noticed it again in the Integrity Farms. And then for a costume review, we actually do have for the first time, we have some Halloween costumes from the Made for Boys. I have no idea who any of these costumes are. I have no idea what they're referencing. This episode came out in like 2018, and I noticed there were like Fortnite costumes, so maybe they're all that. I have no idea what they are. So number 4 was Cartman. Just kind of boring. I don't know, like it was alright. I still don't know what it is. Number 3 is Kyle. He's also just kind of alright, but I did like that he had like red facial hair because his hair is red, and I love whenever they have their hair out. It's so cute. Number 2 is Kenny. It was cute. Like, I don't know what it is, but it was cute. And he had his little bucket that he was so excited about. And then number 1 is Stan. This was a crazy costume. I don't know what it is, but he's like in a fish tank. He's like blue. So yeah, I don't know what he's meant to be, but he looks cool as fuck. Overall, I liked it. I thought it was really good. I love a Kenny focused episode, obviously. I imagine there were a lot of references to the birds that I just didn't get. Like, there was this whole scene where he's like trying to get rid of them, and it's like dark, and he's like, you can only see his eyes. I'm sure that was a reference to the movie. I wouldn't know. I haven't seen it. I thought the Halloween vibes were pretty okay. Like, the beginning, they have this really nice intro scene where it's like talking about October and fall and everyone's decorating. That was really fall vibes. That was really great. And then the rest of it just kind of didn't really feel like it that much. I feel like, I don't know, the rest of it didn't really feel like Halloween, but the intro was very Halloween. Not the actual show intro, but the intro to the episode. Our next spot is our first old South Park episode, and that would be Spooky Fish. This is from season 2. And I was sure that like all the old episodes were gonna be really high. Actually, you know what? This is number 4, so it's not like it's not high. In this episode, Stan gets a visit from his Aunt Flo, literally, like it's an actual person, and she gives him this goldfish that ends up killing people, and then Sharon is burying the bodies in the backyard and stuff. She doesn't believe that it's the fish. Stan's like, dude, my fish is killing people, and his mom's like, no, I have such a nice little boy. And then there's also this other plot where Cartman has like a twin, like an evil dimension twin. Evil because he's actually like the opposite of Cartman, which means he's nice, and he has like a goatee kind of thing. So they find out that like the fish is from this alternate dimension that the evil Cartman is from, and then the evil Stan and Kyle come and try to get Cartman back and such. I am a huge fan of Old South Park. I think it's so good. Like I love it so much. And this is our first entry of an Old South Park episode. This episode does have a Halloween intro, and as well as I love Old South Park, I also love the Old South Park intros. There's just, I don't know, like it's just so nice. It's not just like a compilation of clips, like it's actually like its own thing, and I really love it. So not only did this have an old intro, it also had an old Halloween intro, which is so fun. It's so festive. I love it so much. This episode has something they called Spooky Vision. So it literally just said Spooky Vision on both sides of the screen, accompanied by pictures of Barbra Streisand in each corner. I thought that was funny as a concept, but seriously, like, what is their problem with Barbra Streisand? What did she do to them? Like, they really hate her. They really hate her. Both episodes, because this is season 2, so this and the Halloween episode from season 1, Pink Eye, they both started with a spaceship. In Pink Eye, it like landed on Kenny and killed him. This time it was like they didn't have anything to do with it. I think it was just kind of a way to connect it to the last Halloween episode, which I think is fun. The evil Cartman, is just he's so sweet. Like, he's so nice, he's so sweet, and it's really funny just how unsettled Kyle and Stan are by this. Like, he's like, ugh, I love you guys. You guys are so nice. I'll get my mom's money and we can go get pumpkins or something. And they are just appalled. They cannot believe it. Like, they are terrified. And it's great. Like, he really is just being nice. And he has a goatee. I don't even think they care about the goatee. He's just being nice. And they're like, what the fuck? This is weird. This is wrong. And then the real Cartman in this episode has a thing where he's saying hella a lot. And Kyle is really pissed off by that. And honestly, I like that bit. Like, it was alright. Was it the most, like, revolutionary thing? No, but it was fun. It was fun. A lot of these bits are just, like, really fun. Like, the spooky fish bit with it, like, killing people. That's fun. The parallel universe thing, that's really fun. I wish people with, like, fan art and stuff, I wish that they explored that more, because, like, that's such a fun concept. And, like, we need more of that. We need more. I personally, though, I didn't really care about the Aunt Flo bit. I don't know, like, it wasn't funny. I didn't give a shit about it. I will say Sharon, though, in this episode was fun. Like, this is, like, the first time she's really been focused on, I think. Maybe except for, like, Clubhouses. But she's just having a psychotic break in this episode. Like, she's really going through it. There's one time where, like, Barbara comes to ask her a question about, like, people in the backyard. That's where she was burying them and stuff. And then she locks him in her basement. And Randy is just like, he's just like so chill throughout this whole episode, because this was season 2 when he was chill and wasn't like stupid. And there's a part where he's asking Sharon about what's up with Barb Brady, and he's like, okay, why'd you take his pants off, Sharon? And I think that was really funny. Evil Cartman also has a nice moment with Mr. Kitty, and I think that's really cute and sweet. Kenny's death in this one, the spooky fish bites him and like drowns him in the fishbowl. I thought that was fitting. Like, it fit the episode. I thought it was kind of fun. That sounds really messed up to say, but like that's not how I meant, you know? I moved over here. I'm trying to avoid the sun. With the spooky vision pictures, I feel like they're kind of showing the progression of like the story throughout the episode, or like the acts, I guess. I never understood when people were like, in the 3rd act of this episode. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? But the pictures change as the story progresses, so I thought that was kind of cool. I would do a costume review, but there were no costumes in this episode. And that's my main criticism with this episode. Logistically and technically and like story-wise speaking, it's a very good episode. It's really well paced, it's like really well put together. Like it's a very good episode. But what is Halloween about this? There's just nothing Halloween related to this episode. Like besides the intro, there's literally like this could take place any time of the year. And it's just that it's like kind of like a horror movie parody. I think it's a parody of like Pet Sematary, I think. Haven't watched that one either. But it's like they have done other episodes in the past where they parody horror movies like Night of the Living Homeless. Those aren't Halloween episodes. So why is this one a Halloween episode when it's just kind of like a horror parody? There's nothing Halloween about it. I don't know. But overall, quality-wise, it's a very good episode. Halloween-wise, this isn't a Halloween episode at all. But we have made it to the top 3, and at number 3 we have Pink Eye. In this episode, Kenny gets killed, like I said, by a spaceship, and then he is like taken to the morgue, but they put Worcestershire, whatever. They put that sauce in the embalming fluid by accident, and then it makes him a zombie. He goes around and there's like a zombie outbreak and stuff. So the whole episode is them like trying to figure out what's going on with that and like trying to stop it. This one is obviously like iconic, right? It's the first Halloween episode. It's very important for that. Also, there's just so many scenes and little bits from this that are really iconic. So they also keep ripping on Tina Yothers, and I don't know who that is. So none of those jokes landed because I didn't know who that was. As I already said, I'm a big fan of Old South Park. They did have a Halloween intro for this one too, which is always really fun. This is also like when Kenny died, they were like Stan and Kyle were actually like shocked and appalled by this, which like they aren't normally, so I thought that was fun and nice. And then also like what better way to start a Halloween episode than just like with death right off the bat. I like the morgue workers. I think they were funny. They were a good bit. Also just like the concept with the Worcestershire sauce. I really don't know if I'm saying that right. Like how do you come up with that of being like, we're gonna take this sauce and it's gonna be used as embalming fluid, and then that's what's gonna make everyone zombies. Like how do you come up with that? Also just Zombie Kenny is so iconic. Like his design as a zombie is so amazing. I love it so much. There's one part where he bites Clyde and Clyde goes, "You bit my arm!" And Kyle goes, "Oh good, Kenny's back to normal." And I thought that was funny. Also, Kenny, like he bit a bunch of other people, but he never ended up biting the boys. Like he hung out with them as a zombie. He hung out with them and he never bit them. And that's so sweet. That's so cute. There's also some Stendy in this episode, and that was nice to see. It's a very iconic Stendy moment, right? With the Raggedy Ann, Stan, Chef also has a good part in this episode. He helps them like fight the zombies. He also has that Thriller parody, which is like the very iconic part of the episode where he turns into a zombie and he does his little Thriller dance. And he sings, the song he sings is one of my favorite Chef songs, if not my favorite Chef song. I don't know, it's just something about that. I love it. It's so good. I like the Thriller parody. His scream, he screams like a lot in this episode and it's really funny. It's like, ah! There's also a bit throughout the episode where they keep talking about how Cartman's mom is on the cover of Crack Whore magazine, and then it comes back around at the end where he's like, I found something, and he's like, what? And he's like, your mom is on the cover. And I thought that was funny that it just like keeps coming back around, and it's like a through line throughout the whole episode. And then I think the ending of the episode is the best part. You know, Wendy's a zombie, but Stan refuses to kill her, and then Kyle saws Kenny in half, which is always like an iconic scene, and he goes, oh my god, I killed Kenny. I thought that was nice. And then at the very end, they're in like a graveyard with Kenny or whatever, and Cartman is like crying the whole time. It's like really loud, and honestly just like the whole scene is good, because it also has like the I learned something today, and he's like, Halloween is about costumes or candy, it's about being nice to one another. And Kyle's like, no dude, that's Christmas. And he's like, oh, so then what is Halloween about? And Kyle's like, costumes and candy. It's like, oh, okay. And then for this one, we have a lot of costumes to rank. They actually wear costumes in this one. The costumes are a big part of it because there's a costume contest. So number 7, I didn't explain this, but there's a bit where Cartman dresses up as Hitler, and then the principal helps him change his costume because she's like, you can't wear that, obviously. And then he's a ghost. So I thought the bit was funny, but obviously those two costumes are last because number 7 is Cartman Hitler. I mean, do I need to explain? No, don't. Speaking of which, his ghost costume, Again, the bit was funny because he didn't know what it was. He was just like, oh, these guys are really scared of ghosts and stuff. But, ooh, no. Number 5 is the Chewbacca costume. This was Kyle's original costume, but then literally everyone was dressed up in just a Chewbacca mask, so he changed his costume. It's basic, but it made for a good bit. Wendy won the costume contest dressed in this Chewbacca costume. What? Number 4 is Raggedy Andy Stan. Like, it's so cute. It's just, he's adorable. He's adorable and it's so cute. I love all the fan art of it. They kept making fun of him and it was funny, but he was adorable. Number 3 is Solar System Kyle. This one was very short-lived. He brought it for the costume contest. He made it like during recess, I think he said. It was short-lived, but it was really cute. Also, like, how did he make that during recess? But it was really cute and I wish we saw more of it. Number 2 is Zombie Kenny. Technically, it's not a costume, and they do say, like, where is your costume? So it's like, no, not a costume, but it's cute. And it's, like, so iconic. Like, he looks so cool. And then number 1 is Vampire Kyle. This one is so iconic. And it's also just, it's so cute. He's adorable. He's got, like, the fangs, and he's just so adorable and cute. There may be a bit of a bias, but it's okay. Moving on to number 2, the runner-up, and it truly was a runner-up because I was having a very hard time deciding, is Korn's Groovy Pirate Ghost Mystery. In this episode, there's a lot of stuff going on. There's this Halloween party at the dock. Stan and Kyle are trying to scare the 5th graders, so they decide to dig up Kyle's dead grandma, and then she goes missing. Cartman has a little side plot of him being very excited for Christmas, and he gets this, like, gift and stuff that isn't really his. Kenny has a little subplot of him wanting to win the costume contest. Spoiler alert, he does not. There's also Pirate Ghosts, and that is where Korn, the band Korn, comes in and they fight these pirate ghosts. Not fight them, but they like try to uncover the mystery in like a Scooby-Doo parody. Like they're drawn like Scooby-Doo. They have a mystery machine. And then another spoiler alert, we find out that Father Maxie was behind all of it, and he made the pirate ghost that actually literally killed people because he didn't like Halloween and he didn't want people to celebrate it. This one, again, is old South Park, so I love it, and has a Halloween intro, which is so fun. Also, fun fact, Korn voiced themselves in this episode, which I think is really fun, and they really just portray them as like nice guys, which I think is so fun for like the front men of like a metal band, I think. I don't listen to Korn, but I thought that bit was funny. Also in Pink Eye was when Leanne was decorating for Halloween and she's singing It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year. Cartman is also excited for Christmas, so like mother, like son, and I guess is like Integrity Farms, like Randy as well. They really nailed the Scooby-Doo look though, and all the bits, honestly, like all the Scooby-Doo bits I think were solid. I think they were really good. There's so many famous scenes from this also. The scene of Leanne laughing because they're like making fat jokes at Cartman, and then Leanne laughs. First of all, her laugh is so cute in that scene, but that is from this episode. Thing where it's like, yeah, fat ass, we're gonna dig up Kyle's dead grandma. That's from this episode too. Those are all good scenes from this episode. There's also a rare Stan and Cartman moment. That's not really a pair you see together a bunch, but Cartman made some joke and Kyle's like, that's not funny, because they're talking about his dead grandma. And Stan's laughing, he's like, yeah, it is. Also, like, they're so cute in this episode. When the 5th graders scare them, they literally just, like, run around in a circle and they're, like, actually scared by them. They're just little 3rd graders. They're little 3rd graders. They're so cute. And then when they... when they come up with their, like, plans to scare the 5th graders, like, they're so cute. They're so adorable. I love when they act like kids. Like, they're so cute. And then back to the Korn thing, first of all, they have a little bit where they're, like, talking about if it's a pirate ghost or it's a ghost pirate. It's a pirate ghost, not a ghost pirate. Because they're saying, like, well, if it's a pirate that later became a ghost, then it'd be a pirate ghost. No, actually, it's not. If it was a pirate that became a ghost, it'd be a ghost pirate. If it's a ghost that later became a pirate, it's a pirate ghost. Whatever, it's pirate ghost. And then they do this thing where they're like, form of corn. They turn into these forms of corn. So there's like corn on the cob, there's like popcorn, there's like one corn kernel. I've always loved that bit. I think that's so funny. And then at the end, they get to, because they're there because they're playing the Halloween party. And the cut where they're like, well, here's our song. It goes a little something like this. And a 1, and a 2, and then they play the actual song. And it's like flashing strobe lights and like metal. I've always loved that bit. For the costume review, number 4, we have Chewbacca. It made a return. It was reused by Wendy and it won the costume contest. Kenny did not win. Undeserved. Number 3 is Kyle in his clown costume. It's really cute and it maybe also has his real hair, but like it's just him and Stan both wore just their costumes over their normal outfits. And his costume is very cute, but it's just kind of alright. Number 2 is Kenny in his little robot costume. This is a crazy costume. How did he make that? Did he buy it? How did he get that? Like, it's really cool and I love the way that everyone is just like, first of all, just like ignoring him. And then they also like, whenever he walks anywhere, like he walks and he like has to settle and everyone just like waits for that, and I think it's really funny. Also, there's a lot of scenes where he's just wandering around in the background and I think that's really funny. And then number 1 is Cowboy Stan, simply because of that goddamn hat. That hat is so goddamn big. It's huge. It's such a huge hat. Why is this hat so big? Overall, it's a very good, well-written episode. Everyone has their own plots, but they all work together, unlike maybe like Hell on Earth, where it's not as good. Has some good Halloween vibes. I've always just been so fond of this episode. I've always really loved this episode, and no one else I feel like really talks about it, so it also feels like very niche. I don't know, I've just always loved this one. But that would leave the number 1 spot for A Nightmare on FaceTime. And I did not expect this at all. I'm such a huge fan of old South Park. I thought for sure my top 3 was just going to be the first 3 old South Park. I've never seen the full of it until today, but I've known some of the bits, and it's just such a good episode. I really, really love it. I was so surprised. I was like, I think this one might be number 1. In this episode, Randy buys a Blockbuster in 2012, and obviously nobody comes. And this whole episode is a parody of The Shining. So he's seeing ghosts and he's like, I gotta kill my family now. And he's like chasing them down and stuff. And then also because Randy's like, we're gonna be so swamped with business of people coming to rent movies. They're not. Stan can't trick or treat with his friends, but they already planned costume. They're gonna be the Avengers, and it's like they need to be together because Stan is Captain America. So they FaceTime him and just put Kyle's iPad on like a skateboard so he can come around with them. They try to stop a robbery because they're the Avengers, but they were like, this actually, never mind. Like they killed a guy, like there's a ton of people, never mind, we don't want to do this anymore. So then they're like all in danger because then obviously the robbers want to like get them. They do kidnap Kyle's iPad, Stan. He finds out that like they're gonna go to the Monster Mash, which they also have a bit where they're like, yes, it's gonna be a graveyard smash. We better get there fast. I hear it catches on in a flash. And I think that was really funny. So Stan goes undercover, but then Randy takes the iPad and goes around and is like yelling at everyone for streaming movies instead of getting DVDs and stuff. And then Kyle's iPad dies, which Stan then dies, and Randy like freezes outside. Not actually like dies, but he does freeze like the end of The Shining. But this was just such a solid episode. It's so well written. The story is so good. It's a great parody of The Shining. Like I just watched that movie and it's very spot on. But it also isn't relying on it. Like it's doing its own thing, but it's also a really good parody. And it's just so cute. They're so adorable. Specifically the scene of Stan putting on his costume. First of all, you could see his hair. You could see so many people's hair. You could see Kenny's hair. Whoa. And you can see his hair. And Sharon's helping him with his costume. And she's like, yay! It's one of my favorite scenes ever. It's so cute. Like, this whole episode, they're just so adorable. And then when they find out Stan can't come with them, they literally put him on an iPad. And Kyle is dragging him around. They're so cute. I love them so much. I love when they're just like really like they're friends and they're just like kids. Like they're so cute. Pretty much all my notes are just about how cute the kids are in this episode. Also, they treat the iPad like he's an actual person. Like obviously he's not being hurt, right? He's not there. They like take a knife and they like scratch the iPad and they act like it really hurt. They like throw him out of a car into like a field, obviously the iPad. They put the iPad in a hospital, and then when Stan dies at the end, it's just the iPad dying. Like, it's really funny. There's also a lot of other references in this too. Like, I think they reference Jaws because they're like, we can't cancel the Monster Mash, it's Halloween, it's the biggest night of the year. And then they also reference The Outsiders because when Stan dies, he says, hey Kenny, stay gold. What is happening? There's also this one police officer because Stan ends up going undercover. Gangnam Style is what they call it because it was 2012, right? So Gangnam Style was super popular. So it was Gangnam Style Frankenstein. And they have a police officer in there controlling the body while Stan, as the FaceTime, is the head. Again, once them treating him as an actual person. But there's this police officer who, like, again, when they make the Jaws reference, he goes, but the Monster Mash is only tonight. And they go, shh. And then they shoot the Gangnam Style costume after Randy takes over the iPad and goes on like a rampage and stuff. And then the guy goes, wasn't that Peterson in there? And they go, shh. And then one of my favorite scenes in South Park, like I think about it all the time, I reference it all the time, is when Randy's going around, like he chases Danny in the maze, right? And Shelly is lighting the Blockbuster on fire. And he goes, what are you doing, Shelly? Also, I just love the way he says Shelly. Shelly. And he goes, what are you doing, Shelly? And she goes, nothing, Dad. Go back to killing the family. He goes, okay. I love that scene so much. So now, to the costume review. There actually are costumes in this. At number 5, I have Kyle as Thor. It's cute, but like, something about the blonde hair, it just, I don't know, it throws me off. But it's alright. Number 4 is Cartman as the Hulk. You may know this is where people keep mistaking him for like other people. That was a fine bit. I don't know who pretty much any of those people that they referenced are, but he's also just kind of like green, you know? Number 3 is Gangnam Style. It's fun. Everyone's like, I wish I thought of that costume. Sure, like it's fun. Number 2 is Iron Man Kenny. It's really cute. We can see his hair, and we can hear a version of his voice because he's not muffled, but he has like an Iron Man voice like modulator thing. So it's like techie, I guess. It's really cute. It's really cute. And then number 1 is Stan as Captain America. It's so adorable. His hair is peeking out of the hat, and it's so cute. The hat kind of looks like him, like his hat a little bit. Like, it's so cute, and it's a good costume, and it's adorable. Overall, like, this episode's just so good. Parody of The Shining is really good. The boys all hanging out together is adorable, and it's really good. Sharon and Randy are really good in this. Everyone's really good in this. Shelly is good. Like, Randy, I actually like him in this episode. You know, sometimes, like, if it's a Randy focus episode, you're like, ugh, whatever. But he's actually good in this one. Sharon is really good in this one. She's really funny. I especially like the end scene where she's like, do you want to come home? You want to just sit here and freeze some more? I thought that was funny. But it's just a really good episode. It's really good. But that is my ranking of all of them. This was a little bit of a mess. Like, I didn't really know how to do this, like how I would go about this. So I know it's a little all over the place, but you know, whatever. It's fine. Who cares? If you watched all the way through, thank you so much. You did if you got to this point, but seriously, thank you so much. If you would maybe like to like and or subscribe and or comment, I would really appreciate it. You don't have to, but it would mean a lot. If you are doing something for Halloween, you're going out or whatever, have fun, stay safe. But other than that, I will maybe see you next time.